only born after you was only you resurrect. You was only born after.
This is BuildAid on Mix, chatting to Vaughn Harris. Welcome, Vaughn. Thanks for being here.
Good evening, Greg. Nice to be back again.
All the way from Cape Town.
Yeah.
I believe you've been at something at Gallagher today. Is this a prelude or what were you up to?
There was another, it's the Facilities Management Expo. Obviously spreading the good word again. I got an opportunity to be a key speaker. So, as I said, practicing for the big show.
The 23rd and the 24th, how many people is the show expecting, or the expo expecting?
Yeah, well, this year is the 5th annual expo. Yeah, this is the second time at Gallagher. And it's quite exciting. I think for the first time we've got 6 new dedicated zones to this expo. Stretching right from the concrete through to mechanical. You've got tools, your plumbing, MEP, and your construction. And obviously, for the first time, it's the digital construction attached, where we're seeing it, the largest digital construction expo in Africa.
I think what's important from the outset is we hear about building shows and we think it's for builders. And it's not. Particularly the digital side, which we're going to be chatting about this evening, is homeowners. Go and have a look at what's available, particularly on the planning and digital front. And stay tuned, you'll learn a little bit more about what to expect. Just quickly, Vaughn, there's an app that you can download. It's an Android or an iPhone app, just if you want to find out what's going on at the show. I think there are probably 50, 60 workshops in total going on. Where is that? ACE TCE Expo?
Yeah, the ACE TCE Expo, that's the name of the app if you are looking for it on Android or the iPhone.
It's a pretty decent website as well. Just search it on Google. It's a Concrete Expo and you'll find it quickly. You can find out what's going on at that show. But let's get into the digital side now. Vaughn, that's your forte. You're in charge of putting that thing together at the Expo. And we want to run through a couple of things, but firstly, you guys are running what you call a lounge or a digital lounge. What is that?
Yeah, I think if we look at the population, we either come from Generation X or Generation Y. And most of us attending these expos coming from a Generation X, we have to adopt new technology. It's almost this paradigm shift into a world of technology that actually is going to transform the way we work. And as we know, none of us really adopt change very well. Digital is a revolutionary, it's the way we're changing things, it's the way we're doing things, moving forward, not just within the industry of construction and the built environment. So now's an opportunity for us to, as you said, it's not just to the professionals, it's open to the entire population that are of some sort looking at design, building, going through to facilities management. And I think, as you said, design is the future. And now's the opportunity for you under one roof to actually get to see your cradle to grave applications as well as understanding the processes of digital construction.
In conjunction with Mix FM and Caxton, BuildAid are running homeowner workshops, 10 workshops over the next year, and it's on the subject of planning. And part of the presentation touches on modeling, BIM, which is a word we'll get, or an acronym we'll get into just now. But it's part of how to design your home and what access you have. So when we come back after the break, Vaughn, we're going to get into things like virtual reality and drones, measuring buildings, and so on. Okay, how are we doing with that after a drink syndrome?
I told you it was an easy question. Rob, Vanessa, Jade, Pam, Tanya, Glenn, Ross, Charles, and someone calling themselves Jethro Tull, although that must be a confused person. Everyone's got it right, and I'm so interested in all the different spellings we're getting. So what we're asking you is the slang word for a hangover. It's such an easy question. Send us an SMS on 41348 and you could win a 500 Rand Builders Warehouse gift voucher from Totally Concrete.
This is BuildAid on Mix. My name's Graham Alexander, chatting to Vaughn Harris. We've been talking about virtual reality, drones, 3D scanning, 3D printers, all this technology. Check it out. Gallagher Estate, 23rd and 24th of this month. Vaughn, BIM, BAM, BOOM. What is that?
3 sassy girls walking around at the show named BIM, BAM and Boom. Apart from those girls actually walking around the show, it is a catchy acronym, and it has meaning. BIM, obviously, we know is Building Information Modeling, which is the design aspect, which follows through to BAM, which is your building assembly modeling for your contractor. And then you've got your BOOM, which is your builders, owners, operators modeling side of the operation side. So although it's a catchy acronym, it has a lot of meaning behind it. There's a lot of processes behind it. And I think from the Institute side, what we're trying to endorse into the industry is that BIM is not software. You can't buy it. It's not Revit, as many people see it as it. But also you can't do a career in BIM. So part of the show is letting people come down, understand what these catchy acronyms mean, and speak to the experts and find out how you can get involved with the different industry disciplines, understand the methodologies behind BIM, BAM and Boom, and see what the Institute's doing in terms of national rollout and how we are applying standards across the industry for companies as well as projects to adopt a BIM process.
Just a simple sort of view, helicopter view of BIM. If your architect's working on your home and he's designing it in a model form, a 3D model that you can see, and most architects are using that kind of software now. Vaughn, you mentioned Revit, which is one of the maybe more advanced, although I don't want to get into trouble by saying that. There are a number of pieces of software that you can use. But what it does is it connects it up to other information. Like the door in the home may be connected to a supplier that has a particular kind of door, and you can look at it, you can touch it, you can see it, you can get it priced, and so on. Is that a fair sort of view of it simply?
A better way to look at it is it's one source of the truth. So your 3D model is merely the tool to visualize the building. Once you start driving into it, and you can actually start breaking it down to see the objects. Each object has properties behind it. So each property would involve certain quantification of the object. It could be the carbon emissions, anything to do with facilities in terms of operation maintenance, to your air conditioners, to lighting facilities, lifts, elevators and escalators. So it's all about how you maintain the building, and we do that through digital objects. So we like to look at 3D modeling as the source that contains all the information, may it be data or static data, which is in the form of documentation, is stored in an archive, which is the 3D model.
At the expo, I'm sure you're going to have models on screens, on computers, showing people how architects work with it, but not only how architects work with this. How does the homeowner work with it? You're part of the process. And understanding that software, I think, is not how to use it, but understanding what it can do, I think, is very important.
Definitely, and that's what the workshops are there for. It's allowing the public to come in, regardless who you are and what your career is within the industry, even as a DIY homeowner. Come in and sit in these workshops, understand where your place fits in with this the digital environment. It may be from a designing architectural environment. It may be down to a document manager, even a QS. Digital is not just for the professional. It's right down to the homeowner who says, hey, I have a house. Can't I digitize my house and sell it as a value add to the next homeowner?
Vaughn, we focus on this amazing city of ours, Joburg, on the show. Most weeks, in fact, some of our shows are just about Joburg. I know you're from Cape Town.
We'll forgive him.
And we talk about all sorts of things. And we have a Facebook page called Building Joburg on Mixed. And if anybody wants to add stuff, I mean, a lot of photographs like Hillbrow. Last week we were confused about a street in Hillbrow. We had sort of 50% of people saying it was Kotso Street and the other was Pretoria Street. It was about Ben-and-Apple, by the way. It was an old club in the old days, and I think if anyone lived in Joburg, they knew about that. But anyway, Simon digs up stuff as well, and this week I wanted to ask you about City Deep. You know, when you go on the M2 east or west, I'm not sure, and you look one way, and there's these piles of containers,
piles and piles and piles of containers. Yeah, so that is that's the biggest, or that is Africa's largest dry port, and it was developed by our good old SA. I think it's a SARS, not SARS the taxman, unfortunately, but South African Railway Services. Yeah, and it was developed back in 1977, and it has one of the largest capacities, obviously in Africa, and it can hold up to 2,000 ground slots with those containers, those 20-foot containers, and it has the ability to move 375,000 of these containers every year. And then obviously just a little bit further down the road is the Johannesburg Fresh Market.
Have you been there?
I've never ever been there. Well, I've driven. When I say I've never been there, I've driven past it.
I went there.
The flower market. I've been to the flower market.
Yeah. it's in the same place.
I know, but
Yeah.
but
It's
I mean,
huge.
It's massive. Something like 65,000 square meters of space where these guys go in every day and sell their produce.
You wonder when you go into the different supermarket chains that maybe it's all coming from the same place.
Yeah, I think those guys with
65,000 square meters must be.
They wear dark glasses and different caps when they go through there.
But there's something going on, and I can't hurt you bad. There must be so much love in my heart that it would tear me apart. And I know, although you couldn't see,